ProdromeScan blood test measures quite a large variety of molecules, and it measures them in a very unique way. And we measure the actual intact phospholipids in your blood supply. Measuring them in their intact form allows us to measure the actual fatty acids that are on these phospholipids. So now I understand most people, all of these words are going to sound like a foreign language to you, because biochemistry, the words that we use in biochemistry are unfortunately quite complex. So let me run through the list of these molecules, and then I'll separate some of them into some more, hopefully, easy to understand concepts. Okay, so in terms of the actual molecules, we measure plasmalogens. There's two types of plasmalogens in your body. There's choline plasmalogens, and there are ethanolamine plasmalogens, and they're involved in different aspects of your body. Those are phospholipids. We also measure their counterparts in the phosphatidyl pool. So we measure phosphatidyl ethanolamines and phosphatidyl cholines, as well as your white matter myelination markers like sphingomyelin and ceramides. In addition, we look at your triglycerides, but more important than your regular triglyceride test that you can get from the regular doctor, which we also use as a measurement, we actually measure the speciation of your triglycerides. So actually, what are the different essential fatty acids that are in your triglycerides? So this gives us a long-term vision of your dietary habits in terms of your omega-3 and your omega-6 ratios. We also look at the lysophosphatidyl-cholines, which are breakdown products of your phosphatidylcholines, your diacylglycerols, monoacylglycerols, your total cholesterol levels. Then we add to this mix of complex lipids to traditional blood markers, like your HDL to LDL levels, your traditional triglycerides. We look at hemoglobin A1C to take a look at your glucose regulation over time. Homocysteine levels to look at your methylation, creatinine, thyroxine, your iron levels, C-reactive protein as an inflammatory marker. So as you can see, the blood test measures quite a large group of molecules, and this group of molecules are designed more in a triage manner. So we're not looking, like, this is not the most esoteric testing in the world. We're focused on those core biochemical functions that you need to have in the right proportions at the beginning before we go into more and more selective type testing. The human body is mostly comprised of membranes. We have trillions of cells. Each of these cells have intracellular organelles, like your mitochondria and your peroxisomes. All of the cells and all of the organs or organelles in your body have a membrane around them called the phospholipid bilayer. And this is really the fundamental structure of the human body. And the composition of your phospholipids provides a very important understanding of your overall diet, nutrition, and operations of your key systems in your liver. And that's fundamentally what the blood test measures. Many people have less than optimal levels of things that we consider essential, like cholines and ethanolamines, plasmalogens for certain. And by looking at these molecules and looking at the ratios of these molecules, you can get an indication of your health. More importantly, the ProdromeScan technology measures this in a highly reproducible format, and it measures it using a distribution so that you can see what your levels are relative to the normal distribution, whether they're high, whether they're low. And as we target different systems for this biochemical reserve, we can then target them with supplements and or diet and or lifestyle interventions. And so we can move those biomarkers into the most optimal zone of health. And that's the key thing about the ProdromeScan test. It's meant to be used. It's not meant to be just taken and stored on the shelf. You can take these results, identify what biochemical deficiencies are present, identify where the biochemical reserve is desired, intervene, retest, and from that interaction, optimize your biochemical health. So I know it sounds complicated, but actually it really isn't that hard once you look at the results.